The following content is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Connection established. A.D.A. Online.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of A.D.A. Online. This is the August recap, where I go over the things I found interesting in that month. And like the last couple, this is going to be a quick one trying to catch up. Now, as for the tech issues I like to start out with, unfortunately, that's going to have to wait until the tech and media segment, because ASUS themselves made a statement about the audio problems I've been having. And let me tell you something, it really ticked me off. So, with that out of the way, let's get straight into the lolcow segment. On August 3rd, we got some footage of Johny Somali going to another streamer's house with fireworks. This was a bit of an older clip, but we haven't seen it here on the channel yet, and I couldn't believe that Johny would be such an idiot to go to somebody's home shooting off fireworks threatening them, while also being in some of the biggest legal trouble I've seen in my life.
Look at this, we really.
Honestly, he is like... Johny looks like some ghetto Legolas.
Ready, I'm like a Somali pirate. Look at that,
I'm like a Somali pirate.
Oh,
oh my god. This is... Who thinks this is a good idea? So, these streamers, at this house that Johny is going to, I think he is friends with one of them, or at least, like, he streamed with one of them before. The rest of them do not want him there.
Dude, this is a war.
This is a war.
Nigga.
Johny is, I want to say lucky, but no, this is a conscious decision he makes. If he did this, like, in the wrong state, he would be shot. Move, move, move. It's a war.
It's a war. It's a war. You want a war with me?
Johny is at war with the Korean legal system. And let me tell you something, he's losing.
You want the war with me? I'm here, nigga. Joel, come outside.
Yeah, we can see all the Korean streamers there in the side room, just staring at him. Come outside. Would you come outside to see this? Some crazy guy walking up to you, screaming about going to war with you, while shooting off like 7 Roman candles into the air? I probably wouldn't. I don't think most people would.
You want a war with me, Joel? Come on. You know what it is. You know who the fuck this is. Watch the trees.
Johny belonged on IP2. He should have been on one of those RV streams with Blade and Chicken Andy and Gucci's.
Watch the trees, watch the tree.
I thought you are big.
Watch a tree. That is something you're going to hear Hank say a bunch of times. And Johny is going to hit the trees a couple times too.
Come on, Joel. I'm in your territory.
I'm in your territory.
You said you're gonna beat me up. You made a threat to me. You said you're gonna beat me up. Come on, let's go. I'm ready.
So we're about to hear this guy say, Johny, you have like no viewers. And Johnny's going to reply saying, viewers don't matter. Well, yes, Johny, they actually do. Especially when all you do is stream.
Let's make some content. You got a bunch of...
Let's make some content. I mean, I guess I am covering this, but is this real content? Walking up to someone's house, shooting off fireworks, saying like, hey, I'm at war with you, let's make some videos together. Not really.
Listen, you got Maria
Okay,
for...
You got 300 viewers.
And then I got STD.
I don't know if Johny does have STDs or if that accusation is true, but interesting thing to say on stream.
Come on, Chris Travels, lesbian Travels, come outside. Yeah, we right here. We're here, nigga. I'll put this shit down like this.
Is he an idiot?
Yo.
He's shooting that right in the bushes.
Man, come on, man.
Even Hank's not. Oh, is Hank wearing knee pads? What a loser.
What? Dude, seriously.
Dude, seriously.
Come outside, Joel. Yo, tree.
Tree. So Hank is actually terrified that he's going to get arrested because Johny is going to set a tree on fire or something. If only there was a way that incident would have not happened. Maybe if they weren't there shooting fireworks in the middle of nowhere.
They don't want to come outside. It's the Nontent house. We the Nontent Patrol.
We the Nontent Patrol. I've watched more Johny Somali streams than most people. It is almost all dead air.
We the Nontent Patrol outside, man.
Come outside. So what ended up happening, they got sprayed by a fire extinguisher and left. The Nontent police clearly were not doing their job because their stream was not very good. Now, like I said, that was an old clip that had resurfaced, but on August 7th, Hank Yu, Johny Somali's sidekick, went on to the K-Town Social Club podcast telling us he can beat up 99% of the planet and a bunch of other nonsense. Let's hear this.
If you're level 3, I would say that you can beat 99 sorry, not 90.
Yeah, so, I don't know if I clipped this, but Hank said, yeah, I don't believe in belts. And apparently he's like a level 3, I don't know what that means, but he thinks he can beat up like almost everyone on the planet.
99% of the world population in a fight.
So you could beat 99.
Yeah, this guy does not take him seriously whatsoever. And this guy is gonna like just make fun of Hank the entire interview.
99% of the world population in a fight.
In a one-on-one fight, yes. I am certain. Because
I am certain.
99% of women and 99% of men.
99% of women, 99% of men, yes. Because most people in this world do not train how to fight.
You're talking about Johny Somali, right?
Oh, okay, so yeah, we're about to hear the Johny Somali stuff. I just wanted to start off with the fighting stuff.
No,
I mean, he's not your best friend.
he's one of my best friends now.
I don't think there's anybody on the planet you've done it more for than Johny Somali.
Yeah, well,
I do not understand the Hank and Johny Somali friendship. So Johny Somali and Hank Yu, they met each other on the streets. Like, they did not know each other until Johny Somali got into his legal trouble in Korea. The way it was described by one of Johny Somali's old mods was, the dude's like a GTA character. The dude is like a GTA character. He just meets people on the streets and starts a relationship like that. And so, between them meeting and now, Hank has spent $20,000 on legal fees for Johny Somali, housing him, feeding him. Oh yeah, sorry. They live together in Hank's apartment, and it's just insane.
there's one more guy, and he's like my best friend. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name here, but yeah, he's my best friend. But yeah, for him, I mean for Johny too, like I call him, "What's up, nigga?" You know, like
I saw a video where you were calling him your slave.
We're about to hear this guy say, I don't think Johny liked you calling him his slave. For Johny, I do not care. That guy is as culturally insensitive as you can get. He went around to the Wailing Wall, stuffing pieces of paper of Jeffrey Epstein, Aiden Ross, and I forget who Harvey Weinstein, that's a guy. Stuffing pieces of paper of them into the Wailing Wall in Israel. He went to Japan, screaming out, Hiroshima, Nagasaki was a good thing. He would do that in Korea too. Just walking up to like random people, like screaming it at them. The guy is as culturally insensitive as you can get, so I do not care what is said to him.
that was a joke.
I think Johny didn't like that either.
I think Johny didn't like that. What a shame.
Like, Johny didn't take it like.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have speculated that you two were involved in physical relations as well. Like, I can see that you might be
So Hank is bisexual. Johny is questionable. So yes, a lot of people were curious about this relationship.
down for that, but I don't think Johny would be down for that.
Actually, the things that Hank said in this clip that I like cut out are they're insane. It's him talking about like things he did in prison, his fantasies. If you're looking to cringe, I'd suggest looking up this interview yourself.
That accurate?
I'm not down for that either because Johny is not a femboy.
I see.
I only like femboys basically.
But if put on makeup and a dress,
Yeah, now Hank is about to say, oh, well, if you did all that, maybe.
do you think he would look good?
I don't know. Like Johnny doesn't have the vibe, but he's got a nice ass though.
Yeah. So imagine
Imagine your roommate saying that. Yeah, you got a nice ass though.
He has a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if he shaved his mustache, put on a wig, long hair, put on makeup, put on like skirt and dress and like a nice top, and was like bending over in front of you. You'd want that, right?
come to think of it, maybe.
Maybe. If I was Johny and this interview came out, I'd be running from the hills. I'd be afraid of what's going to happen to me at night.
Okay.
Maybe, yes.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like always honest, you know? That's funny as hell, though.
That's funny as hell. He's just saying this to say, oh yeah, this is all just a joke. That's funny.
That's funny.
You've never discussed this with Johny, like, hey Johny.
Oh, you can see my mouse there.
No, I have more.
Boys, if you're ever living with somebody and they ask you to put on a dress for any reason, start looking on ways to get out of your lease.
Respect for him, then like you know, like tell him to be a fanboy, basically.
So femboy is kind of crossing the line, but you know, slave is just a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So has Johny been dating?
Has Johny been dating? Well, the answer is actually no. The man has no money. Remember, he's in South Korea. He can't speak Korean at all. Like, what's he supposed to do?
No.
He's been in Korea for quite a while now.
He's been in Korea.
Because, you know,
Johny Somali, as of right now, has been in South Korea, for about 1 year and just under a month. I think it was September 27th, 2024, when he was, like, denied leaving.
you saw what you saw in the Philippines, that Russian American
Vitaly. I think we've spoken on Vitaly on A.D.A before, but Vitaly, he is not having a trial for another year. He will have been in the Philippines, in prison, for like 2 years by the time he gets his trial. I just remember when all that stuff started happening. Vitaly went to prison, everyone was talking about it. That was like March. And I remember months later thinking how much stuff had changed in my life. And then realizing, in all that time, Vitaly has still been in prison.
streamer, Vitaly,
Yeah.
they dealt with him quick.
They did. They got Vitaly, put him in jail. They did a news segment with him. Vitaly was like treating it as a joke. Probably one of the dumbest things he could do. Like making kissing faces, trying to say things in the microphone. And now look at him. He got put into a Filipino prison where it is so overpopulated, you cannot lay down to sleep because there are so many people in there. He gets like no food. I don't know if any of you have been to the Philippines, but it's incredibly hot there. And that's his life for who knows how long.
You know,
That's how it's supposed to be in Korea, but
when you and
Same
Johny
forever.
see that, do you guys feel like, yeah, what do you think?
If I was an IRL streamer and I saw Johny Somali and I saw Vitaly, all the stuff happening to them, you better believe I would be on my best behavior in those countries.
I mean, all right. So this is all I'm gonna say, right? I can't discuss much about Johnny's case because like their courts are like coming up, right? But like
Right.
Courts are coming up. Now, I'll say this. Maybe I shouldn't make fun of Hank so much. I'm pretty sure English is his second language, even though he is I'll admit this, he is a very good English speaker. But yeah, Johnny's court case was coming up. We're going to get to see that soon.
this is what I'm gonna say. Korean people don't want Johnny here.
That is an understatement. Korean people will go. There was a point of time where people in Korea would just roam the streets hunting Johny Somali like he was a Pokemon so they could beat him up. They absolutely do not want him here. They absolutely do not want him there. Now, what Hank is going to say is, hey, listen, the Korean people don't want Johnny here. Johnny doesn't want to be here. So the best course of action would just be to get rid of him, which would make sense for some situations. But if they let Johnny go, that's going to say, hey, anyone can do what he did and nothing's going to happen. So in this case, like, absolutely not.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want Johnny here. Johnny doesn't want Johnny here.
Oh, I don't want Johnny here. I forgot about that one. Yeah, could you imagine? You let some guy live in your apartment. You think, oh, well, I'm just going to help this guy out. Maybe you could help me out with my career. And then it's a year later of you paying it for him. 20,000 American dollars that Hank Yu has spent on Johny Somali. $20,000. I want you to imagine what you could have done with that. If you put that in the S&P 500, he would have been up. He could have gotten himself a nice gaming rig. He could have bought half a cow You know what? He might have been able to buy a full cow for that price and buy a deep freeze for it too.
No one wins by keeping Johnny here.
No one wins. Well, I'll say this. My entertainment wins by keeping Johnny there. I want them to stream Johnny every day, picking cabbage and doing manual labor until his sentence is over. Actually, if it was up to me, this is the way it would go down. Johny Somali gets his punishment. He has to do manual labor for however long, but they strap a speaker to him and make him live stream the whole thing, and people for very low amounts of money can say anything to him. I think that would be a great stream and a great way to make some money for the government.
The best course of action is for them to kick Johnny out with some fines. Simple. Like,
isn't the danger in that then, if Johny Somali gets to go free, is that all the streamers around, the nuisance streamers around the world, they see what happened in the Philippines with Vitaly. He quickly got locked up, but then Johny Somali, after some long period of time, they just let him go. Wouldn't these nuisance streamers see South Korea as like an open country to fuck around as much as possible? So do you really think South Korean government will allow that?
That's exactly the danger. The moment Johnny gets to go home without any real punishment, that's it. They would just be saying, hey, if you've got a year's worth of funds, come to Korea and do whatever you want. If Johnny is not made an example of, harassment streamers will flock to Korea.
no, like, I don't think so.
Oh, and another thing with Johnny. Johnny had a chance to leave. He was warned by the cops getting pulled over, or I think he was detained, actually. And they said, you better leave Korea. Johnny left, or tried to leave, the day after they banned him from leaving the country. If he was 2 days faster, none of this would be going on.
Because, like, Johnny suffered enough.
Johnny's suffered enough. I could not disagree more. Johnny so far has gotten to stay at Hank's place, play on his MacBook, run around drunk, naked, and realistically, that's it. Like, he's just been stuck in the country. He has not been punished whatsoever. I guess he has kind of been punished because he's not allowed to work, so he's not allowed to stream technically, even though he's tried to do that regardless.
They've seen South Korea keeping Johnny in the country with no work. I mean, he's not allowed to work.
That's true. He's technically not even allowed to stream. Now, he has tried streaming, but the problem is Johny Somali is stuck on party.com. Now, if you know anything about streaming sites, that is like one step above cozy. Like, you do not want to be banished there.
Yeah.
Not allowed to leave Korea.
Not allowed to leave Korea, that's true. Johnny did have a plan to get out of Korea, but unfortunately, that's not happening.
You know, in a constant threat of getting jumped.
That is also true. The locals in South Korea, they absolutely hate Johny Somali, and they have assaulted him multiple times while he's just walking around in the streets.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And yeah. Potentially starving to death, right?
Potentially starving to death. I have a funny feeling you are not going to starve to death in South Korea. It's like in America how even homeless people can be fat. Like, we have gotten to a point in civilized society where even the people with nothing do not have to worry about not having food. There is no way Johnny could walk to a food bank or like a church, ask for food, and not be given some.
So,
I'm actually pretty sure Wendy's has a policy where if you walk up to them and say, hey, I don't know where I am, they have to give you a free meal. Now, that's something my cousin told me when I was 14. He could have been screwing with me. I've never tried it. But, I mean, I think it might be true.
He didn't expect any of this, huh?
No.
He didn't expect any of this, huh? No, absolutely not. Johnny thought... So every time Johnny's done this before, he is, as I said, he went to Japan, did as much crimes, like harassment, as he could. What happens? I think he got, 2 months in jail, and they gave him a fine, and they sent him home. Johnny went to Israel, which I don't understand why someone would go there during, that war. But he went there, screwing around, same thing, went to jail, and then he went to Korea, doing the exact same thing. Except this time, they weren't screwing around and actually had punishments for them.
Other streamers are going to see that and they'll be like, holy shit, no, we shouldn't. But
I think the streamers who are thinking of going to the Philippines got a very clear message.
I think they did. Because after Vitaly, I haven't heard of any streamer stuff happening in the Philippines. Like, not one bit. Now, I don't keep up with this stuff like super big, but I really think that's not going to be a problem for them ever again.
Don't fuck around in the Philippines.
well, Philippines is kind of a joke,
Oh, Philippines is kind of a joke. I don't know how Hank can say that.
honestly. Like, don't fuck around there. Yeah, sure, but that entire country is kind of a joke.
That entire country is kind of a joke. I don't know what Hank was thinking, associating himself with Johny Somali, because all he did was brought all this attention onto him.
This Johny Somali thing, we did that interview with you in December.
Yeah.
That whole incident where getting jumped and all that, that was like September or October of last year?
October.
It's been almost a year, right?
Right.
So in the past, in all this period of time, you're basically Johnny's savior. You're like his...
You're basically... You could not understate that enough. If it wasn't for Hank, Johnny would have had to sleep on the streets in the middle of the winter. Now, I don't know what the weather's like in South Korea. I would assume it gets hot during the summers. But I know winter, for the most part, wherever you go, if there's snow, you are screwed if you have to sleep outside unprepared.
People say you're like his sugar daddy, So it's kind of like...
It was, yeah.
How much...
Did you hear that? People say you're like Johnny's sugar daddy. I was, yeah. Could you imagine somebody saying that about you?
Have you personally spent...
Oh, yeah, this is where he's going to say it. Have you spent $10,000 on Johnny? Have you spent $20,000 on Johny Somali? Yes.
far helping and supporting your friend? I mean, it must be a lot of money. Food, alcohol, I mean, the rent, the increased utility costs, the inconvenience of, I mean, there's all these costs that are going to, plus legal fees, I'm sure. Like, how much have you spent so far?
I'm not sure, but I don't buy him alcohol. I mean, I've never bought him alcohol.
I've never bought him alcohol. Something tells me that might not be true.
I see.
Yeah.
But would you say you've
And
spent...
I'm not so out of his safety. I'm not going to mention where Johnny is. Right.
Out of his safety, I'm not going to mention where he is. Well, Hank is going to get caught in court like a couple days after this saying, yes, Johnny still lives with me. So he's just saying this on this podcast. That's just going to be turned out not to be true like a couple days later.
Right now?
Doesn't everyone already assume he's living with you?
That's what
everyone already knows he's there.
That's what they
Everybody already knows he's there. And Hank is going to try and talk himself out of this.
assume, and then let them keep
keep
a bunch of things.
So you don't know how much you spent supporting Johnny. Would you say it's over 10,000 US dollars?
Including
Legal fee, everything for Johnny.
legal fees? Yes.
And because of extra money you had to pay because of the inconvenience of Johnny there, over 10,000? Over
Yes.
20,000?
Close to it.
close to it. Oh my lord. Could you imagine spending $20,000 on somebody you barely know? This isn't like Hank taking care of his dying mother. This is him spending $20,000 on somebody he met randomly in the streets.
Close to $20,000. You're doing this for a friend who, before he even came to Korea, you didn't even know him personally, right?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
That's because helping him aligns with my own honor compass.
My own honor compass. I don't know how helping Johny Somali, somebody who will backstab anybody, how helping that is following a moral compass.
Do you think that if the situation was reversed, Johnny would
This is my favorite part. I want you to hear Hank's reaction. Hank's response.
do as much for you as you've
Do you think that Johny Somali would do as much for you as you did for him?
done for him?
Probably not.
Probably
But
not. Probably not. Why would you help somebody that would not help you? Not only would Johny Somali not help Hank nearly as much as Hank has done for Johnny, Johnny would laugh at Hank and tell him to go away. He wouldn't have lifted a finger for Hank.
But I don't expect, like, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing...
I'm doing this for me. He's doing this for his internet career, hoping that this is going to get him some fame.
Doing this for him, basically.
This is part of your legacy as, you're like a free speech hero, right?
Yes.
This is about liberty.
This is about liberty.
How did you come across him, and then how did he end up coming to Korea? Like, I heard that you're the one who invited him here.
No.
No?
I was not. Like there are rumors like that, but I was not the one who invited him here. I do believe that's like one of his like other friends who said, "Yo, go to Korea."
Then how did you get in touch with him once he arrived here?
I realized that he was in Korea, and I thought what he did in Japan was based.
So what Johny Somali did in Japan, as I said earlier, he would go on the subway, just scream at the locals, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You know what that means? And I remember in one of the most famous clips, this guy, he looked Japanese, walked up to Johny Somali saying, "Hey, what do you think you're doing here?" Johny Somali said, "Oh, Hiroshima, Nagasaki." And the guy says, "Hey, I'm from Texas." So he just starts saying to Johnny, like, "Hey, what you're doing isn't cool." And of course, Johny Somali just kept up his exact same thing. He treated the entire country as like a backdrop. And everyone just trying to mind their own business, do their own daily routine. He saw them as like an opportunity to get content.
What did he do in Japan?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting about that part. We're going to do it again.
Oh, I see.
Because Japanese are unapologetic for like what they did in the World War II against Chinese and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pro-China. I'm pro-China.
I'm pro-China. I do not think Hank really understands what living in China would be like.
Anti-Japan. So anything that pisses on Japanese off.
You were glad that that Johnny was trolling the Japanese because Japan is not apologetic for the things that they did to Korean people during the occupation period.
This guy is giving Hank an out, but it's really a gotcha.
Right? But
more to China than
right,
to
okay.
Korea, because like
Nanking and all that, right?
Yes.
So
because
then
they
you were
do worse things in China than in Korea.
Okay, but then when Johnny's here, he's gonna bring that same energy.
Yeah, Johnny brought the. I'm not even gonna say identical energy. I think he went worse when he got to South Korea. The first thing Johnny did when he got to South Korea, he was walking around with one of his friends, saw this concert going on, a live show, and he just walked on the stadium, like saying, "Yeah, good job, keep going," and like jumped off and had to get kicked out by security. That was day one. Like, I want to say within the first couple of hours he was there, he was already causing trouble.
He was bringing to the Japanese. Now he's gonna bring that energy to Koreans, right?
Right.
Like the Hiroshima, Nagasaki, but now he's doing that to Koreans. So like he'd go to like a CU store or GS25. Remember, there was like she looked like almost like a harmony, working the store, and he was like,
that was what I think is one of the worst things Johny Somali's ever done. I thought it was a 7-Eleven. I'm just gonna call it that. I'm not sure what this guy just called it, but he went to like the 7-Eleven. He got a soju and some noodles, and he started throwing the water around, throwing noodles around. Had to get told he wasn't allowed to drink in there by this like old woman. I think she was like in her 60s or 70s. He starts fighting with her. The moment she turns around, he like gets up. And how do I explain? He like, when you go to fake someone out, like move really fast towards them. He did that to her. Starts blaring noise on a speaker, playing music, dancing around the store. I think he got banned because a couple days later, he went there again. The owner kicked him out.
Throwing noodles and all that and calling her a dumbass bitch and all this. Is that funny? Like, isn't that kind of sad? Isn't that kind of angry? Doesn't that make you angry? Like someone that's like, who could be your emo?
I think that's ridiculous. So South Korea is not a place I would ever want to live. So people always say like, oh, you know what? Japan has this intense work culture. Well, South Korea, it's a million times worse. You go into South Korean school, and from the moment you're like able to read, they say, okay, you need to study for 14 hours a day, or you're not going to get a... Sorry. So you gotta study 14 hours a day, or you're not gonna get a job at Samsung, LG, or any of the other big companies. So these people, their entire, childhood and adolescent life, they're just studying, lack of sleep, their entire life is school. If they don't do well enough, they're going to be stuck with these dead-end jobs that they are spat on. It's insane.
Or somebody is like being abused
So yeah, unless you get one of those jobs, you don't get to retire.
like that by this foreigner who's just cussing her out.
All right, I never said that I approve of everything that Johny does. I'm saying Johny does not deserve this kind of treatment just because he did these. Like, I'm not saying I approve of them.
So
I
you
approve
agree
of
that
them.
That's fucked up shit that Johny was doing. But you're just saying that the response you think is too much, but you think it's fucked up what he was doing.
I think it was fucked up what he was doing. I think he should have gotten criminally trespassed. Done.
I think Johny should be forced into manual labor, picking cabbages. That is what has been memed, and that is what will happen.
Done. You know? Don't come back here. Done. Right? But to get charged with it and to be stuck in a country, like a foreign country for like this many months, that's way more fucked up than anything Johny has done.
Maybe they're making an example of him, huh?
Yeah, maybe they are.
Is why Korean legal system is a shithole. Like, they need to deport him immediately. Like,
Immediately. So I think Hank just wants Johny deported so he gets his place back to himself.
really.
That would be a sitcom if I've ever seen one. A guy with a foreigner living in his place and he's trying to get him deported because the eviction process would be too complicated. I think that could last a couple of seasons.
Big ol' free speech.
Is it true that you were trying to sue others for their free speech? Like, were you trying to sue
Oh yeah, so we're about to hear. So, did you try to sue Legal Mindset? And Hank is gonna say, yes, I think I can make money off that. Even though an international lawsuit is way out there price-wise. Like, it's not worth it.
legal mindset? Somebody told me you were trying to sue him?
For defamation, yeah.
That's not free speech.
Well, I'm not criminally charging him. I'm suing him. Money!
Yeah, money.
Wait, so your free speech...
But if I can extract money out of him, yeah, hell yeah, nigga.
That was the worst Sergeant Lincoln Osiris impression I've ever heard. Hell yeah! Even though I don't think that's what he was trying to do. So, yeah, Hank went on that podcast. I don't think he did himself any favors doing that. I don't know how anyone could listen to that and say, yeah, maybe Hank was right. Maybe Johny Somali was mistreated this whole time. But just a couple days later, on August 13th, and Legal Mindset would go live during Johnny's trial.
The current hearing has ended. They're going to call Ramzi Khalid Ismail in a moment. The judge is taking a 5-minute recess. So this is rare. In Korean court, it is very rare for the...
Not only are they taking a 5-minute recess, they're taking a 5-minute recess right before Johny Somali has to show up.
Judge to take a recess. Usually they power through. This indicates to me that the judge anticipates this may be very dramatic, this may be very long, this may be very complicated, so he needs to take a little break. So the judge is actually taking a 5-minute break here, which is very interesting. Ramzi's lawyer is here. Ramzi's lawyer scanned the room and he left. He literally, so Ramzi's lawyer looked at members of the SCT.
The SCT is the Johny Somali conviction team.
So he looked at members of the SCT and kind of gave him a glance, and then he left the room. Johny was not in the room, so he might have been looking.
So if you remember, for the last trial Johny had, Johny was late to the trial, and he showed up beyond hungover because he did a stream drinking the night before up till like 4 a.m. Johny, in that trial, was told specifically by the judge, hey, this is not going to happen again. And then on the second trial, Johny showed up late again.
For Johny was not there. So they're getting a little break before Johny. What if he doesn't show up? If he doesn't show up,
he is in trouble.
Court, he can be punished for that. That is a big thing. That is the big thing. So we're at the point where we'll give it 5 minutes before we declare him late, because if the judge is taking a recess, then he's not late till after the judge comes back from that recess. If he wears the Kanye outfit,
if he wears the Kanye outfit, he's going to be in contempt for court. So I clipped this a little out of context. So what Legal Mindset actually said was, you are not allowed to wear hats in South Korea court. Johny Somali, in order to get more attention on himself, said, oh, I'm going to wear a MAGA hat. And he went there wearing a MAGA hat and got told to take it off twice. So the question was, what's going to happen if Johny Somali goes to the court with a MAGA hat on again? And Legal Mindset said, oh, well, if he does that, he's going to be in contempt of court. And then out of nowhere, Legal Mindset just says, also, if he walks in with a Kanye outfit on, he's going to be in contempt for that too.
he's going to be in contempt of court.
No, I just thought that was really funny that Legal Mindset brought that up out of nowhere.
Hank is in the courtroom, guys.
Oh yeah, Hank showed up to the courtroom, but where's Johnny? Oh, that's actually a nice picture of Legal Mindset.
Hank Yu is in the courtroom in the front row.
I don't want to sound mean, but like, I thought Hank Yu was like a play on thank you, like making fun of him, but no, that's his actual name.
Johnny is not here.
Ooh.
Hank has been asked, do you know where Johnny is? He does not know. The judge is still in recess. The bailiff told the lawyer to let them know when Johnny arrives. There's complete silence in the courtroom right now as Hank has left the room to search.
Hank needs to go out and wrangle Johnny back into the courtroom.
For Johny Somali. Guys, whoever guessed in the poll, is Johny Somali going to be late? You were correct. Johny Somali was not on time. The no's win, 80% wins. He was late. He was late. Now, I do think he'll be here. Hank is now desperately searching for the defendant. The lawyer is staying in the courtroom. So lawyer is not left, but Hank, not the lawyer, Hank is searching for the defendant. Let's see. We got some updates here. Johnny and Hank have entered the
Johnny has been found.
Now in the courtroom together. They walked in together. Johnny is wearing and I'll go full screen on this. Johnny is wearing a black blazer with a white button-up, no tie.
If you remember the last one, he wore a white suit that was way too big for him because it was Hank's.
Now, I did have a tie here today. I was going to wear it. It's my favorite tie. I decided not to wear it. The judge is
back.
Come
on, LM. A tie is not that hard to put on.
From recess. Johnny also has changed his hair. He now has a buzz cut instead of his normal cut. The defendant is called to the stand and the hearing is beginning. They just asked for the lawyer's evidence in the cases for which he pleads not guilty. The judge wants to know what he denies specifically about the deepfake allegations. So remember,
you're about to hear the dumbest lawyer on the planet. He has no idea what he's talking about, and even says to the judge, yeah, I cannot explain this.
Last time, the judge asked Johnny's lawyer, Ramsey's lawyer, what proof do you have you're not guilty? And the lawyer literally said, we have nothing.
We have nothing. No alibi, no statements, nothing.
We have no proof that he's not guilty. The lawyer is completely now today, after the judge asked him, what specific proof do you have? The lawyer is completely flustered. Ramsey's lawyer is flustered in court. He's just looking at a place. He says I
wish I knew how they were like reporting this to LM. Like, are they allowed phones in the courtroom? I'd assume not. Like, I don't think you're allowed to record them. And there's no way you'd be able to bring a radio into a courtroom and like report on what's going on. So yeah, I have no idea how he is getting this info.
Already submitted the evidence to the court, and he's unable to articulate it now. So he can't do it, right? So he's supposed to be able to explain it. He can't explain it. So they're literally saying the lawyer is unable to explain the evidence. Ramsey's lawyer, which is, to me, I have not heard of this in America ever happening, that a lawyer is unable to explain the submitted evidence. Big one here today. Remember, Hank Yu in his interview said that Johnny is no longer living with him.
Oh,
right now,
that?
the judge.
Remember that? Remember? Hank saying, no, Johnny does not live with me anymore. That's what people assume. Well, here he is in court saying, yes, Johnny lives with me.
Just asked if there's any change in occupation or residence. The defendant, Ramsey Khalid Ismail, said no. So therefore, right now, Ramsey Clean Ismail has either committed contempt of court by lying to the court, or Hank is lying. So either Hank is lying or he committed contempt of court. One of these two things have happened because he said no. In his interview with the K-Town Social Club, Hank said that Johny has moved out and Johnny's no longer with him. So either Hank is lying, which is possible, or he committed contempt of court.
Personally, I think that Hank lied on K-Town Social Club, saying, no, Johny does not live with me. And the truth is, yes, Johny still lives with me.
Right now, live. Just now. So now we got information on the new indictment, the fourth obstruction of business. We have the details. On September 26, defendant Ramsey boarded bus 7011 and used a mobile phone to live stream as Johny Somali playing North Korean propaganda.
The song that they kept playing, that is the North Korean propaganda, is a song called Our Friendly Father. I actually had to search that one up after I finished my Johny Somali video because every time he went live, I swear that song went playing.
And loud noises causing a disturbance in force. This is the case that was filed by Korean streamer Bang TV. So big love to Bang TV, who filed this one and got this pushed through. It took months and months and months. He's a guy I've been working with and communication with. He's been a really great guy. I interviewed him. I've got an interview with this guy, Bang TV. He's offered to box Hank, even though he's 10 years older and he's much lighter. Hank ran away like a little, like a scaredy cat.
So yeah, Johny was not having a good time in court. Things were actually starting to look pretty bad for him. Now, Atozy, a very big YouTuber I'd never heard of, surprisingly, before this Johny Somali stuff, he would do a live stream right after the trial, because he was there. Now, I've got some highlights of this.
There was a few people there. There wasn't that many people this time. But Johny, at 3:59, Johnny's lawyer came in. So right on time for the trial and so on. Then at 4, a woman walked in who apparently was a witness. We didn't know of her. We hadn't seen her. We were assuming that Bong Bong was going to testify.
Bong Bong is another streamer that Johny shared deepfakes of, saying she was his girlfriend.
Today, but apparently not. Then at 4:03, Hank walked in, and that also confirmed that Hank is still associated with Johny. Then at 4:05, so this is 5 minutes after his trial started, Johny was still not there. So Hank, he starts panicking and talking to the lawyer, and they don't know where Johny is. So then Hank has to run out of the courtroom and I guess call Johny and figure out.
Could you imagine? You let this guy, this criminal, into your home, and you're not only responsible for feeding and housing this man, but making sure that he shows up on time to his court dates. Hank would have been better off letting Johny be late and get sent to prison.
Where this guy is. So then at 4:12, Johny then confirms that he is still a quote-unquote student and that he still actually lives at Hank's house. So that's interesting because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johny does not live with me. I do not help Johny anymore. I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true. So then you had the whole deepfake charges. So the lawyer then said that Johny was intoxicated.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This was their defense. So they said Johny was intoxicated when he sent these deepfakes. That is not a defense. I'm sorry, Johny. That might be the truth, but you're still guilty.
So they used him being intoxicated as an excuse for why he distributed those.
Oh, Johny. So from what I understand, this court case is going to keep going into 2026. Johny is in so much trouble. I remember in one of his interviews, he said, oh yeah, well, I have a lot of NVIDIA stock, so when I was in Japan, in prison, I was asking the guards every day, what's my NVIDIA worth now? I think that Johny, by this point, has had to sell a lot of that stuff off. I think they have a dividend, but it wouldn't be enough for him to, live off of. Johny is screwed, and him focusing on getting this court case over with is probably his best course of action. But alas, that is it for our Johny Somali segment. And we will now be moving on to our next one. And warning, this is probably the longest segment in the entire episode. I'm actually shocked it got to this point. Next on the list, and we have everyone's favorite New Mexican, Tophiachu. This is going to be a lot shorter than it would have been, considering I did a full-on Tophia video that took place around this time. But on August 7th, some new footage came out that I did not put in my video of some woman going to the Chu family's old home because Papachu was sending her love letters. Just a heads up, by the way, the Discord sounds you're going to hear from this are not from me. Alright, we're about to see Tophiachu answer the door. Come on. She looks very bad when she opens the door, too. Like, it's sketchy AF. Oh, here we go. Oh my lord, look at this. This is like something from a horror movie. If I got more than... I don't know what dimensions this would be, like... super long. Like, this could be thumbnail worthy. Yeah, you can hear Hershey before she ran away. Or, what I should say, Tophia letting her run away.
Come here.
Okay, so you're about to see Papachu bring this woman and her niece into the home. I don't know what she was thinking, bringing her niece, like child, for backup, doing this. But they're both gonna walk into the home.
Come here.
This is like in a horror movie when you say, don't go in there. Like, these women should not be walking in here.
Come here.
Come in, come in.
Come here, man.
This is insane. I would just say to Papachu, hey, listen, do not send me these love letters. He's sending her physical love letters. He has a wife. Yeah, nice place to keep the ironing board right in the hallway at the entrance. Hershey was such an angry dog. Like, it is nothing but barking and growling. But, I mean, this is not a good household, so there is that. Oh, look at all these newspapers on the ground. Papachu is insane. I've seen so many pictures of him. He will just line the floor with cardboard because he's a crazy person, and I guess he wanted to start a fire.
I remember. So I tell you,
This is my...
Oh, wait. Okay, so there's the woman, the niece, and then the cameraman. So I guess it's 3 people. Look at Papachu. Look at that goatee. You could straight up grab that thing and drag him around. And what is he wearing around his neck? Okay, so I see a cross. I thought it looked like a dog tag.
daughter. And this is my niece.
oh, you got 2 daughters?
No, my niece. And my
thought
daughter.
you-
Okay, so she brought her daughter and her niece for backup.
I thought I seen 2 girls.
Well, yeah, there's
The
two.
girls got to sit on the bed and sit in the chair. So, what about my improper conduct?
What about my improper conduct? Well, Mr. Papachu, you are sending this woman love letters. She has a boyfriend, and you have a wife. And this lady is about to mention that.
Oh,
Oh, well, I just wanted to give you
you didn't read it.
I did.
I did.
All of them.
Why bring that kid in there?
I can't accept any of this.
Yeah, I can't accept any of this.
Yes.
Yeah, so he says, isn't it your boyfriend? She said yes. So I guess Papachu knew she was dating somebody.
Yes.
And, you have a wife.
That's your wife, Papa?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is just bragging about that to the woman he's hitting on. Yeah, that's my wife.
Yeah, to me, I think that's kind of disrespectful.
That's beyond disrespectful. Could you imagine being married and openly bringing the woman you're interested in to your home, walking around with the love letters you sent her, having the door answered by your daughter, and then just like being shocked?
On her part, but that's just what I want to do. I want to like return it. You know what I mean? And I don't want any problems with mine.
Yeah, she had to say, I don't want any problems, because Papachu was beyond insane. When Donald died, the son, when he died, and Papachu was told in prison, listen, your son is dead, he said, that's okay, I'll bring him back. This man is, what is behind him? Okay, so I see the Call of Duty World at War game case right on the wall, same with Modern Warfare 3, and it's not even like a proper case that they would have used. It's not Xbox or PlayStation. It looks like a blank DVD case and they printed it off.
Guess what? You can read that one.
You can read that one. I have a funny feeling she's not going to read that one, Papachu. Oh, what do we have? What do we have? I think that smiley face is pretty obvious.
No further contact.
You don't really get to see the whole thing.
Okay. Okay.
Dang, I would have. Oh no!
Yeah, because I mean,
We didn't get a.
I
We didn't get a full chance to read it. I would have liked that actually.
don't know.
Well, what is with those doors behind them? Is that a closet? Because it looks like it has two like doorknobs that you twist to open. That doesn't even make sense.
But my sister, you know, she's single. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, she's pushing off under her sister. Yeah, you know what? Actually, my sister's single. What a snake.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, she's just kidding.
Yeah. But that's all I wanted to come over.
Right there.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good day, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I still can't believe they walked into this home. I would not have done that. Yeah, again, I would not have walked into that home. And not by myself. Not with two other people. I would have felt like I would have gotten murdered. Besides that, Tophia, I believe this was the month she went to the casino after begging for money, saying she had an emergency. And I believe she also did something with her brother, but I can't remember what it was. But again, this is pretty much over now. I already made a video covering all this stuff in a full-on video, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do it here. It's actually the same with Chibi. I was going to have a full-on segment with him too, but Infinite Cringe literally just came out. And with that, that honestly brings us to the final lolcow segment. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a fun one. That being the death of KingCobraJFS. As you're probably very well aware, on August 19th, Cobes uploaded a short video telling us about his health and how everything hurt.
Feel like shit, Facebook.
Oh, this one's a tough watch. So, Cobes by this point, a month prior, Ozzy Osbourne had died. And I believe a while before that, his friend Walt died. And this hit Cobes hard. He was not doing well. And, oh my, you have all these weens who would send him alcohol, door dashing it to him, speeding up his death.
It hurts to lay.
Cobes, I don't mean to say this sounding bad, the man did not have much self-control. Cobes smoked, he drank, and he ate horrible food. If he had the money for it, he would do it. And so, these people, knowing this, hating him for no good reason, the biggest reason I've ever seen people say, oh, I hate Cobes, is that he took Puff out for a cigarette one day, and the bearded dragon ran away. Should he have done that? No. But did Cobes think that Puff was going to die doing that? No. He didn't. He thought he was doing the dragon a good thing. And because of that, they thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to troll him. I'm going to DoorDash Everclear to his home, which is one of the hardest alcohols you can get. And people would just send that to Cobes. I think it's like 70 to 90% alcohol, along with like super cheap vodka. And of course, again, Cobes would just drink that. And now, after days of drinking, Cobes is like really suffering.
Down. Been up all night puking and pooping.
Yeah, he's out of breath. He's in a lot of pain. Vomiting. Having to go to the bathroom. All that. And even during this, I guarantee there were people sending him more booze as this went on.
Oh man, I feel like shit.
I wish this was not the last video he
I'm
made.
sweaty, I'm clammy, my stomach hurts. Been up all night puking and using the bathroom. But I will push through this. Oh. It hurts. It hurts to breathe. Fucking my stomach. My stomach hurts.
Now, like I said, that was not a fun one. And yeah, that was going to be the last time we would really see Cobes. Not long later, and this would be followed up with a report that went out of a man in Cobes area being discovered unresponsive. Let me pull this up here. Male found unresponsive with blue lips and no breathing, Casper, Wyoming. This had the dispatch call, but I'm not going to be playing it. Now, there was a lot of talk at the time about how this was very likely to be Cobes, and unfortunately, that was confirmed to be true. Cobes' father, Clint, would upload a video explaining what happened and how he found Cobes unresponsive in his home while trying to take him to a doctor's appointment. I'm not going to be showing a grieving father explain to people he's never met about how he just saw his son dead, so I'm going to explain what Clint said instead. Clint went to Cobes' house to take him to a doctor's appointment, and when he got in there, he saw Cobes unresponsive with blue lips, called 911, and unfortunately, that was it. Like I said earlier, he told us how, unfortunately, Cobes found the death of Ozzy and his friend Walt to be really hard on him. And like I said before also, those genuinely evil weens thinking it was funny to send him bottles of Everclear and cheap booze absolutely accelerated his death. I know it's a little late right now considering it's October, but I seriously hope they look into who was doing that and they face some sort of punishment. It would honestly be like giving meth to a meth addict. About 1 month later, and Cobes' celebration of life would happen on YouTube. About 1 month later, and Cobes' celebration of life was uploaded onto his YouTube channel. I'd personally recommend watching it yourself. There's nothing I can really say or add onto it. But I can show one thing that caught my ear. Cobes' family mentioned how they used to have a dog while he was growing up named Chance. And my mind is broken, so guess who I thought of?
Two of other animals that Josh got when we were in North Dakota. A dog named Obi, and then another dog named Chance. And Chance and Josh had a special bond.
That is the only Chance and Josh bond that would ever happen.
We adopted from the Humane Society, and Chance was kind of a misfit.
Chance was kind of a misfit. I like this dog. I do not like the other Chance, as you could probably guess.
We loved him, but he was definitely very unique, and Josh had this bond with Chance.
Now, I showed that clip to somebody else, and they sent me this in response. Cobes' opinions on another Chance.
Cobes, do you know who Cyrax is?
Cobes, do you know who Cyrax is?
I heard he's a fucking pedophile piece of shit. That's what I heard.
Oh, tell him, Cobes. Oh, Cobes was really something else. He was a lolcow, but he didn't need any A-logs to make his own content. It's like Chibi in that regard, except unlike Chibi, Cobes is actually likable. In the celebration of life, his father mentioned how he almost got kicked out of his apartment for letting like 10 homeless people sleep in his place during the winter, saying that they had nowhere to go and it was cold outside. When it comes to lolcows, he was genuinely one of the best. Now, one other thing about Cobes' death, I genuinely cannot believe the way some people treated it. Once the news broke, there were two kinds of YouTubers and streamers I saw. I saw people who had streams that were already planned as Cobes' death was announced and canceled it, because they thought it would be disrespectful. And then I saw other people who earliest, 30 minutes after Clint announced that Cobes was dead, fired up a stream trying to profit off it. I'm going to say this right now, that is beyond disgusting, and I don't know how anyone can do that. This image is the last one they showed on Cobes' celebration of life. I think it's the perfect image to end off his channel. We have the chair where he filmed all his videos in. We have his stuffed reptiles. We have his glasses, his hat, guitar, bandana. I'm not huge into Cobes lore, so I forget what this, what is it, the puppet's name is. I think it's like Slappy. I think that because of the Goosebumps books. And I'm not really sure what the vase is, but I think it's the perfect send-off to Cobes. He probably would have liked it. And like I said earlier, that is it for the lolcow segment. I know it wasn't a very big one, and I was going to add in an Amber Lynn Reed segment, but that one was like walking into some comic series that has been going on for 15 years, and I don't have the background knowledge to really talk about it, and I actually had to ask somebody that I knew was into Girl World stuff if she knew if someone called Tommy and Emily were the same person. If I'd covered it whatsoever, I would have messed it up. So, therefore, we'll be moving on to the Tech and Media and Time Warp segment. That being, ASUS laptops are broken, and they have been since 2021. Now, if you've been listening to A.D.A for a little while, you have probably heard me mention how I've had some audio issues going on. More importantly, how I've tried everything I could possibly think of to fix it. Now, that has gone from me no longer using a USB hub with the SSD I was recording clips onto, installing an M.2 SSD into my computer, reinstalling Windows without the Intel drivers that were encrypting my recordings as they were being recorded onto the SSD, buying an audio interface for my mic thinking that having another machine handle the audio would fix it, and even one day installing Linux Mint Cinnamon thinking that Windows was the cause of it, which also did not work. Well, in September, a man going by Zepkek discovered the problem and posted it to Reddit. If you're here, you know the pain. You own a high-end ASUS ROG laptop. Now, I do not own an ROG laptop. I own a VivoBook Pro 15. I was looking for something that did not scream gaming laptop. I wanted something a little bit more professional looking. Perhaps a Strix, Scar, or Zephyrus. Its specifications are impressive. An RTX 30/40 series GPU, a top-tier Intel processor, and plenty of RAM. Yet it stutters during basic tasks like watching a YouTube video, audio crackles or pops on Discord calls, and the mouse cursor freezes for a split second, just long enough to be infuriating. That is exactly what I've been suffering through the past year since I got this laptop. And the entire time, I had no idea what was wrong with it. I thought I downloaded something off the internet. I thought I broke something. You've likely tried all the conventional fixes. Updating every driver imaginable, multiple times. Performing a clean reinstallation of Windows. Disabling every conceivable power-saving option. Manually tweaking processor interrupt affinities. Following convoluted multi-step guides from Reddit threads. Even installing Linux, only to find the problem persists. Now, manually tweaking processor interrupt affinities? No, I have no idea what that is. I did not try it. This thing, to me, has been like Walter White with a fly in the meth lab. I was losing my mind trying to fix this problem, only to recently find out it was all ASUS's issues the entire time, and this has been going on since 2021. Because it turns out the problem was with the computer's own BIOS. Now, I found this out through Linus Tech Tips in a video in my recommended. 2 weeks after it came out, I think they can explain it a little bit better than me.
Digging further, Zefkek discovered that the latency spikes aren't random events.
They're not random events. This explains so much. I would be recording fine, and then all of a sudden, audio distortions. Again, you guys have no idea how much this ticked me off.
Occur reliably every 30 to 60 seconds. While random interruptions might point to thermal throttling, a repeating pattern shows that it's a systemic issue, perhaps a timer or a scheduled event in the system logic. Reviewing raw event data uncovered a high priority interrupt handler, GPE-LO2, consistently taking more than 13 milliseconds to execute, which, as far as high priority interrupts go, is an extremely long time. It might as well be forever. And then it repeats itself roughly every 30 seconds.
Yeah, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. So what this guy's about to say is, oh, one of the things it does is it turns off your graphics card out of nowhere. And I suffer this problem all the time. I will be using my computer, and all of a sudden, all my monitors will just go black. I am never going to buy another ASUS product in my life.
Oh, wow. Event data also revealed that the system repeatedly tries to turn the discrete GPU on and off.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I
even
said.
When it's supposed to be permanently active.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this? What was I supposed to do? Sometimes I've been recording clips for videos, and all of a sudden, while I'm recording, screens go black. Thankfully, my recordings, they don't have that black flash, but I definitely notice it, and it gives me a panic every single time.
That's rough. Every time that interrupt is fired, the same sequence occurs. The handler checks battery status, the firmware tries to change the GPU's power state, the system runs normally for 30-60 seconds, and then rinse and repeat. Zefkek extracted...
So Zefkek, again, is not an ASUS employee. This is some random Redditor that decided to take it upon himself to figure out this issue. ASUS let this go on since 2021. It is 2025. So that is 4 years of computers with this issue. And they never bothered to fix it. They never even bothered looking into it. So all these people had these complaints, probably sent them into ASUS. I know literally with this computer. I think I had this computer for 2 weeks when I had to send it into ASUS for fixes. I've owned a nice few computers in my life, and I have never had this many issues with a computer like I have this one.
And decompiled the ACP. I love that they
What a mad lad.
This is so awesome. The entire loop is effectively a poorly designed task scheduler inside the interrupt handler, which can hold a CPU core hostage for seconds at a time, which when you're trying to use the computer. It's going to feel horrible.
Well, ASUS would at least thankfully acknowledge this and post this on their Twitter. Oh, wrong one. Dear Republic of Gamers community, we've seen your recent reports about performance interruptions on some ROG laptops, and we want to let you know our team is actively investigating these cases. Well, again, it's not just ROG laptops, ASUS, it's mine too, which is not ROG. We understand that smooth and reliable performance is crucial to high-performance machines like these, and we're dedicated to delivering that. Your feedback and detailed reports are invaluable, and we'll continue to provide updates and support through our official channels. Thank you for your patience, passion, and for being part of the ROG journey. So all good, right? ASUS acknowledged this was an issue and they were looking for a fix. Well, wrong, because this was their update. An update for the ROG community. After internal testing, our engineering team has isolated the issue that causes stuttering and performance interruptions on some models of ROG laptops. Since we know the community is waiting enthusiastically for a solution, we'll be releasing a beta BIOS for specific SKUs of the 2023 Strix Scar 15 and 2023 Zephyrus M16 on our support site in the coming week. We welcome enthusiasts who own either of these laptops and are comfortable with early beta software to try these out for themselves. Doing so will not void your warranty. For the rest of the community, finalized BIOS updates for all affected models will start rolling out in early October, with select SKUs included in each subsequent wave. Thank you again for your patience and devotion to the Republic, and an extra large thank you for those who worked with us directly on tracking down this issue. Now, I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I do not use a gaming laptop. I use the VivoBook Pro that was advertised as a creator laptop that has the exact same issues as the gaming laptops. And so far, as of recording, I have not heard about them fixing this too. Like I said, I will likely never buy another ASUS product again for the rest of my life. The fact that this could go on for 4 years, and it's only being fixed because a Redditor discovered the issue. But thankfully, that is all I really have to say about that, which brings us to our final segment, the News and Politics Destiny segment. By this point, I definitely do not think I need to go into my opinion on Destiny anymore, especially with the final segment on the last episode, where it came out Destiny was caught sexting with a minor. Well, it turns out that's been proven without a shadow of a doubt. In January 2022, Destiny was cybering with a girl that went by the name Rose on the internet. And thanks to his own help, she got doxxed this year. And lo and behold, she was born in October 2004. Now right here, I have a screenshot of Destiny messaging her. Unfortunately, all of her messages are gone. You're hot AF, but 18? WTF? Also, 1 day old account? I don't know why Destiny would even respond to a message like this. Again, I don't know what the message was that was sent, but I would assume if I got a message from a 1 day old account of a girl claiming to be 18 into me, I would think it was spam or a bot and block it. Ooh, well, I mean, I'm flattered. If you wanted to, yeah, sure. Preferably one near an ID, so I know you're at least 18. So I used to be all for like old school emojis over like the new ones, but seeing this is like so cringe. Now, unfortunately, this message is gone wherever she sent him, but it looks like she was saying no or like trying to like say no. So Destiny says, but I understand if that's too much info you'd be comfortable showing. So yeah, Destiny asked for an ID, which, you know what, I think it's a good thing to do. Then just danced around it when seeing any pushback whatsoever. Yeah, that's fine. Just writing something on a piece of paper is more than enough. Yeah. So yeah, we don't know what the message was before that, but I think Destiny was giving himself some plausible deniability. Now, this would then be followed up by 57 screenshots of them cybering together that I'm not reading here. So we're going to see a clip of Ethan Klein later. He is going to read off one of these messages. And he was saying how, like, as he was reading it, his jaw was, like, on the floor. And it was the exact same thing with me. Like, whatever smut you can think of, and combine that with, like, cringe, that is what it was. It was I regret reading it. Well, years later in 2024, and Rose's ex-boyfriend, Solo, told Destiny that she was a minor during their conversations. Anyway, she was underage while sending you the vast majority of that stuff, and from what I've heard from her, you were pretty negligent about confirming her age, even asking for ID at one point on Twitter, then saying it was okay/a joke. That's pretty weird, considering that she told me she was of age, was selling not safe for work material to people, but okay. Yeah, Destiny tried to play that one off. I am not reading this username. I don't know, I haven't dug into it at all, but she told me she was 19, and there are logs confirming as much. If she was ever underage, then I expect all of them will be running to that solo guy because he was recording 60 gigabytes of porn with her. Lol W? I guess it's lol what? Well, on the same day that Rose got doxxed, she also DFE'd. That means deleted everything for you non-internet people. And to a lot of people, that was proof that meant the dox was real. Well, on that same day, the streamer, JSTLK, would leak some messages he had with Destiny, where Destiny showed he was concerned he could get into real boy trouble if Rose did turn out to be a minor. Why would he tread so lightly on this if he's 100% on it? But if she was a legit minor, I am probably done. I can sweep and meme my way through basically anything, even though some of it is really shitty. Like, who types like this? So in order to type like this, every time he finished a sentence, he would have to hit Shift-Enter twice. And he did that for just the word like. Think of how stupid this is, though. Yeah, the 24th. He brings it up and then drops it like immediately. Then we get to the Willie Mac video that we showed in the last episode. I know we already covered it, but I feel like it's very important to go through if we're going to talk about this month.
A few days ago, a Reddit post showed that the girl Destiny shared Pixie's nudes with was seemingly confirmed to be 17 years old due to her...
Yeah, so if you remember, I think it was like episode 2, or maybe episode 3. Destiny got into trouble for leaking that Pixie girl's nudes. So he leaked them to this girl Rose, and that is how all this came out.
For getting doxxed. There is almost a 0% chance that she was not 17 during...
Yeah, he's caught. She was 17. He actually tried to fly her out to another state where the age of consent is 17. That is actual sex trafficking. He's like Onision.
During that time. So I do what I usually do and reached out to get a comment. He said the girl, Rose, told him she was 19 and in college at the time, and that the leaker Solo, who is her ex-boyfriend, confirmed that she lied about her age to him. This is true. I didn't know this until way later, but the videos she recorded with other guys, the file names...
Oh my lord, yeah, here we go. In order to deflect onto this other guy, he pulled out this video that he has on his computer saying, I can't believe Solo would record this.
Screen recording, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows me a screenshot of the top of a video clip and says, her boyfriend was recording these on Skype calls. That's absolutely insane to think about him doing all of this if she was 17.
And again, the video is on Destiny's computer. His defense is, well, what if I need it later? Destiny, you could have given this to the cops the moment you thought that, and then deleted it off your computer. But no, he's hoarding it. He has 60 gigabytes of it.
Well, this is insane to me because he's saying Rose's boyfriend recorded CP while sending me a screenshot of the alleged CP. So I asked to confirm if he just did that. If you were sending me this, I'm guessing you still...
Here we get to my favorite part of reporting on this in the last episode. It depends on why you're asking.
We'll have that video. Destiny replies, depends on why you're asking. But
okay, so while I was going through the Kiwi Farms, getting stuff for this episode, I found a clip that I think just fully encompassed what happened. Now, Ken W., I think you were right on the money. Does anyone think about fucking surreal this has all turned out to be? Destiny actually thought Willie was so loyal to him he could share CP with him. How is this real? It's incredible. How the fuck is Destiny an actual person? His behavior is comical. He keeps saying he's not going to talk about the drama, then immediately talks about it over and over. He responds by blatantly deflecting and not addressing the actual situation to a ridiculous degree. Seriously, he is so fucking oblivious, it's freaking surreal. Like, how many times has he done this by now? Hundreds? This is a Flanderized movie villain. I literally can't wrap my head around this guy being a real person. He is absurd. And his followers, the things they say now, they are so ridiculous, like mind-breakingly so. This has to be a dream, right? It's almost inconceivable to me that all that has happened is real. A fever dream. I mean, wow. Let's get back to the video.
Yes, I created copies of all of our...
Yes, I created copies of all our messages and everything when that court case started. He not only has it, he's making copies. Send this man to jail. Uncle Ruckus was right.
Messages and everything when that court case started. I go, bruh, there's been allegations at least since my last video that she was underage. And you still have potential CP of her? He replies, I have an obligation to preserve relevant evidence.
Wow.
So I created backups of all of the conversations. He continues, I don't think I'm allowed to delete it, LOL.
Destiny can afford a lawyer. He has a lawyer. No, this excuse does not fly by me.
I don't know if it counts as hiding / destroying evidence. I continued, you just let me know you have CP videos saved to your computer.
Could you imagine writing that to somebody you're talking to? I would think I'm losing my mind. Like, I'd probably go out and have an emergency cigarette when I was done this conversation.
You knew it was alleged that she was underage. You still have them. Do you see how fucked this is?
So, things were looking pretty bad for Destiny, weren't they? Well, he would actually come out with the worst defense I have ever heard in my life. Destiny is about to say, well, I could have asked for her ID, but it could have been a fake, so there's no way for me to really know.
How about people who feel you were negligent in verifying her age and feel you probably should have been in other encounters with girls that might be underage? I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, like, you can argue that, I mean, nowadays, I have no problem checking an ID, because if somebody feels, the problem is, like, even check, because the problem is, like, people have fake IDs.
Oh my, this is, I have never in my life heard cope and seethe like this. Well, I mean, yeah, she could have shown me an ID, but what if it was a fake ID? People can have those these days. So what? Should bars not let people in because they might have a fake? Again, I've never in my life heard a defense this bad. And you can see that smile on his face right there too. He thinks, this is a gotcha. I got him. No one can refute this point. If Destiny had actually asked for an ID and got shown a fake one, he would get a whole lot more leeway in this.
Even that's not, that doesn't really tell you 100%. I don't know if there is like a 100%.
I don't know if there is a whole 100% way to verify
age. I feel like context clues are usually your...
Yeah, his entire chat is going to own him right here, saying, well, a passport.
Best bet there. So, like, for instance, if they're on OnlyFans or if they do something like that, I figure, okay, well, they...
Oh my... Is this guy for real? I guess the only way to really be sure is if she's on OnlyFans. Shut the fuck...
There's somebody doing some kind of ID verification here. For Tinder, at least my recollection is Tinder does an age verification.
Now, I have not been on Tinder in a very long time, but the way I remember, like, you just say your age.
And she used Tinder a ton, plus is selling stuff online and everything, so I figure this is almost certainly, plus is recording with other people and everything. So unless, like, every single person she's meeting, like, has no idea what her age is, including classmates.
I cannot stand this man. I cannot stand him.
Passport.
How this man has any fan... Oh, yeah, they're about to say the passport stuff. How this man has any fans is beyond me. Like, if you watch this stuff, you are as bad as Destiny.
It's only? Oh, true, actually. Like, I'm not...
Oh, yeah, so this clip, Destiny's going to say, he is not worried about being charged as a criminal, but he is worried about his PR. This man is just like Hassan Piker. They are two sides of the same coin.
Worried about the criminal stuff. It's just the PR shit. It's obviously fucking annoying, but...
Annoying. Yeah, to Destiny, getting caught as being a predator is just annoying.
What do your lawyers think of what's going on with the weird procedural shit from the other side? I mean, basically, it's all just delay tactics or stalling stuff. Do you know her actual name, the name in the video, and the name on the tickets don't match? I don't. I still don't have contact with her or the guy. So I'm not even sure 100% if the information or anything is true. Yeah.
Now, at the time, even Ethan Klein would make a video covering the topic. I do not understand how I never watched Ethan Klein whatsoever for years. At least not since the Cancer Crew was, like, at their height. And now, all of a sudden, this year, he's in, like, every one of my videos.
And so, Kiwi Farms, somehow, like, I don't know, some of them work at the NSA.
Oh, so we're going to hear how Kiwi Farms found Rose. So, if they had one picture of her, they used that in a reverse image search, like 20 different search engines, mirrored photos to find the moles that matched, and then were somehow able to find her. It's actually crazy.
They are NASA or something. They got a picture of this girl. They triangulated it through like 20 face recognition ID and somehow matched up all their moles and was like, this is the person. It's nuts, okay?
I'm telling you, I would probably have trouble doing that because Rose had her hair dyed like different ways in those photos.
You can't hide anything from them. All you have to do is not
this is true.
Minors, right?
All you have to do is not sext with minors or hurt animals, and the Kiwi Farms will not screw with you. It is that easy.
Or do anything sexual with minors, and then you don't have to worry that much about Kiwi Farms, right?
And then he shows me a screenshot of the top of a video clip and says, her boyfriend was recording these on Skype calls. That's absolutely insane to think about him doing all of this if she was 17.
The irony of that is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, bro, it's on your computer.
Well,
you think that's crazy? Yeah, it is. It's on your computer.
I don't think the big bombshell here is the fact that it's called screen recording.
No.
Tell him, Gila.
I think it's everything else.
Oh, I cannot wait to show you later. So Destiny is about to go scorched earth on Ethan and Gila Klein for doing this.
Say this. Now, that depends on why you're asking is interesting because it implies that under the right conditions.
Yeah, exactly. So we're about to hear, yeah, this implies under the right conditions, he would have just sent that video to Willie Mack. Destiny's a freak.
He would send this to him.
Also, like the cheeky emoji, like depends why you're asking. Do you want to see? Like
And that's kind of was like, it depends. Do you want to beat off to this?
Yeah, it's like,
or,
it's really
or are you
crazy.
trying to get me busted? Because
Right.
you're trying to beat off, then we're dogs. Let's go.
It's just so stupid to keep it.
Like, there's got to be a piece of your brain. And I know Destiny is a very sharp guy. I've seen his debates.
Destiny is a very sharp guy. I cannot agree with you, Mr. Klein. I think he has some of the worst takes on the planet. And I think that the only reason people watch him is because he just downs. What is that ADHD medicine? Ritalin. He just downs Ritalin. And so he talks nonstop throughout streams.
I've seen his videos. There's got to be a piece of your brain who's like, well, okay, so hold on, let me get this straight. He's just learned recently, after this Kiwi Farm thing happened a couple days ago, that she's 17.
According to Willie Mack, it was already like a potential though, before that.
That's why you don't get fucking nudes from random people online, especially if you're a fucking influencer.
I agree.
And you know she's hella young, which, again, I have proof of that, which you guys, I have something to show you guys at the end.
He thinks he's the Dexter Morgan of child porn.
Right.
I had to leave that clip in. I forgot I put it in there.
Right. He
Yeah, he's saving it. So Ethan Klein's about to go on this rant. I had to get rid of it because it's like, I cannot leave he can have this on his channel. He's got like ins with YouTube, but I do not. So he's about to say, oh yeah, I'm collecting it so I can send it to the authorities when I get busted.
Surprise, motherfucker.
he views the child porn so he knows that it exists.
Right.
Oh, so now the reason he's keeping the CP is because of a hypothetical criminal case that he is not pursuing at all. Okay, maybe these reasons are legally sound.
If you cared about doing that, you would just turn it over.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like, there's a crime happened here against this girl, you would send that over to the FBI or something. You wouldn't like keep it. I would like to know how many times he's opened that. Now I'm going to warn you guys. This is going to make you want to die.
Oh my lord. Okay, so yeah, remember when I said how there were a bunch of the cybering messages and how I wasn't reading them? Well, now Ethan Klein is going to read out one of them, and oh my lord, this is bad. This is bad. If you could handle all my chibi cringe videos, you might not even be able to handle this one.
But it is important. The first one is not going to want to make you die. This one's just a little tease. So he's talking with her. She said, gotta watch it on mute. He sent her a porn video. Gotta watch it on mute. Family and kids all over the place here in our house. He said, yes, ma'am.
Heel emoji. What does that even mean?
And then he said,
Oh my
if you
lord.
can, give me a discreet vid of your little feets.
That is the kind of message you send when you have your friend's phone in your hands and they're out of the room. Yeah, look at Dan. Look at Dan's mouth open. This is how I felt when I was reading all these messages. Jaw to the floor, like I'm a cartoon character.
Just sit on that. Because that's nothing compared to what...
Yeah, that is nothing compared to some of them.
Doing a little age play here. Can I see your little feet? A secret video of your feet?
Little feet.
Okay, you guys ready? All right, here it goes. She says to him, my parents are super, super strict. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't talk to me. So when you're like, oh, my parents don't let me do anything fun. It's like, oh, you're a kid. His response is this. And
I don't think any parent would want their daughter talking to Destiny knowing he sends these kinds of messages. This is like bad.
We'll read it verbatim. He says, well, fuck. It would be so hot to drive you home from a date and make you suck me off in the car. I'd love to send you inside your parents.
I agree with AB. He's grabbing his shirt over his head, looking like a nun for protection from this cringe.
House after making you
yeah, look at that. Okay, so I think that I don't want to like get this lady's name wrong. I think it's like, no, she's not Lena. That's AB's wife. So yeah, I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, like covering her mouth. She can't believe this either.
Swallow a full load
Dan,
for me.
Looking the other way. So normally these people have like barely any dead air. Ethan Klein stops talking, and they have to play the soundboard to get some noise in because everyone else is speechless. Nobody else has anything else to say.
He knew she was a child and he liked.
That might be the worst thing I've ever read.
Yeah. Oh no, Mr. Klein. There are much worse texts that they had. There are many worse text messages.
The worst thing I've ever read.
I'm a little
At one point, Destiny was saying, I wish you could, like, just stay under my desk while I'm streaming. I'm not going to say the rest of what he said, but trust me again, it was bad.
Sensitized because that's the second time I've read it. The first time my jaw was on the floor. Yeah. But that might be the most fucked up, disgusting thing I've ever read in my life.
Every single one of those messages were nightmarish. It's like, how do I explain it? It's like if you're reading a horror novel. Like, you know something bad's about to happen, but you don't know what. That is the feeling reading all of those. Like, you are shocked to your core about what these people are saying. Well, fast forward to the 23rd, and Destiny decided he was going to accuse Willie Mack of lying, and Ethan Klein of being a coward, and other things. Now, I would try to do my Destiny sped up voice, but I would mess up too many words. Almost everything in this DM is wrong. Willie Mack is running cover because he wants to get in with the boys again. 911, sorry, let me call back. My OBS wasn't recording, lol. And Ethan is trying to distance himself from me because he's too weak to deal with Hassan's attacks against him, using me as a vector since he has literally nothing of substance to contribute in this arena. Hassan's lack of intelligence is his biggest insecurity. That no amount of, what is this word? Finasteride? Oh, okay, I'm assuming that's like some beauty product. I don't know what it is. Hair dye or bathtub photo shoots will compensate for. I have no CSAM on my computer. I have only complied with my legal obligations for my court case. Well, Destiny, if you said, am I taking crazy pills? Am I crazy? He sent the screenshot of the video of Rose, a 17-year-old, and said, yeah, I can't believe he filmed this. And so it's on his computer. It's on his computer. The 60 gigabyte screenshot was related to a claim the Rose person made. Someone whose name and birth date have yet to be reliably confirmed. Ethan is literally reading off revenge porn leaks of mine and giggling, coughing because he's too lazy to use his inhaler, like a retarded child, for DMs that had absolutely nothing to do with the Rose leak. Any reference to rape or orgies or anything else was literally in the context of DMs with a 26-year-old British woman. I've never DM'd that Rose person on Instagram in my life. I think Peterson was right. You, Zionist and genocide supporter in the United States with loyalty to Israel first, and Gila, genocidal IDF maniac, night raiding innocent Palestinians in the West Bank, because she wasn't seeing enough bloodshed at her desk job writing pardons for IDF rapists, deserve all the CPS calls for the dog shit eating claims and everything else. You deserve zero sympathy from anything else on the internet. When you're so quick to turn around and rely on the same snark shit that's been plaguing you for years as soon as you think it's beneficial. I hope your prior maid takes you for a milli-inner lawsuit against you guys as well. Wave emoji. For anyone else watching, you should assume that every single influencer person you meet on the internet is a terrible human being with zero values or principles. Is he for real? Okay, so I'm not reading this post right now for anyone listening. So he just says, every single influence person you meet, he says, you should assume that every single influencer person you meet on the internet is a terrible human being with zero values or principle. Wouldn't that include you, Mr. Destiny? Personally, this is what I believe. I think that's how Destiny views himself. And because he knows what he is, he views everyone else on the internet, or probably in general, as being the exact same as him. Back to this. See you tomorrow for stream. I don't know what this emoji is, but it's like a smiley with hearts. you cannot hate this man enough. He gets exposed, cybering with minors, and his first response is to deflect. Well, things were about to get worse for Destiny somehow, because on August 26th, Ethan would then do another video on Destiny. We're going to go through some of the more important parts. Warning, these are bad.
Here's the next one where he admits to sharing photos of a 15-year-old who sent him bikini shots with his homies.
Destiny was sent from a 15-year-old fan bikini pictures. And his first instinct was not to block this girl. It was to send the pictures to his friends and then say, I wish, you're going to see it. How this man has the audience he has. I know I've said that before, but I can't believe it.
And how he couldn't barely resist the urge of wanting to have sex with her.
In 2012, when Destiny was 23, he shared in a group chat with a couple of his friends the messages, "You want to see the sickest shit in the world? So many fangirls. I had one that was 15. She wanted to meet and hook up. Dude, she's 15. What the fuck? But she sent me pictures."
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. She sent me pictures that made it so hard to say no. I think it's very inappropriate to accuse most people of going to Epstein's Island if they had the chance. But after everything we've seen with Destiny so far, is that a stretch?
That made it so hard to say no. Then Destiny linked a picture of this girl in a bikini in the chat and said, "Girl on the left, so hard to say."
I've had to go through this clip probably 3 to 4 times in order to make this. I still have my jaw on the floor listening to this. I can't believe what I'm listening to.
Hey, no, gonna get arrested one of these LGs, man. So in these logs, when Destiny was 20,
that is if you wrote a book or you had a movie, that quote would be at the very beginning of it. The foreshadowing to what the climax is. Him getting arrested.
23, he said that it was really hard to turn down hooking up with this 15-year-old because she looked so good in this picture of her in a bikini. He then shared this lewd image of a child with his friends and said that he's gonna get arrested someday.
Imagine receiving a bikini pic from a 15-year-old in your DMs, a fan of yours, and being like, she's so fucking hot, I need to share this with the boys.
A couple years later, in 2015, when Destiny was 26, he shared in his chat, "I would fuck the shit out of that."
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I cannot believe this is real. I'm actually at a loss for words. I don't know how Destiny could write this at all.
15-year-old, what the fuck? There's no way that chick is 15. So now we've seen 2 separate occasions.
Guys, this is not normal. You just don't type that kind of stuff.
I agree, Mr. Klein. You do not just type that stuff. If some politician got caught saying that, you better believe they would be kicked out of their party.
Unless you're like Jerry.
But no, he's still allowed to be on, what is he on? YouTube? Kick? Jeez, I hope he goes to party like Johny Somali. I hope he loses that audience.
Fogel in a chat with his homies, you know? Like, he's speaking openly with the dogs who are like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You would never say, this is not normal. And he keeps getting older and older, but the girls stay the same age. But again, that's not all, folks.
Destiny defended another streamer who got exposed for having sex with a 14-year-old by saying,
okay, yeah, this one is bad. Destiny is going to use the defense, oh, 14-year-old, that's not pedophilia. Like the definition matters. So I know there are 3 different kinds, but I think pedophile is pretty, what's the word? You can use it for all of them, and no one will bat an eye. But once you start arguing what one means what, you start to get a little questionable.
Even if he did bang a 14-year-old, no, that's not what pedophile means. Go look it up. Seriously, if you don't understand the difference between being attracted to someone that happens to be young and being attracted to someone because they are young, you have absolutely no business whatsoever commenting on the issue, period. It makes you look uneducated.
He's like, it is so outrageous, sir, that you would call someone sleeping with a 14-year-old pedophilia. How dare you, sir? Yeah, but guess what, guys? There's more.
Incident is when him and his friends, the bros.
How much? Oh my, no. Oh my lord. I was about to say, how much more can there be? Like I didn't just edit this a couple of hours ago before I started recording. Now we're at the Bro Squad story. I'm not even going to try and like tell you what happens here. I'm just going to let you listen to it.
Squad watched an 8-year-old boy shake his penis for them on a live stream.
I shouldn't tell this because I'm going to get fucking arrested.
I shouldn't tell this because I'm going to be arrested. You should have been arrested, Mr. Destiny.
Or Child Protective Services.
By the way, how many times has he said that? Once is enough. Has he said this like 3 times? He's like, I shouldn't tell you guys this because I'm going to get arrested for child porn. 3? How many times are we going to tell that joke?
I used to be part of this horrible thing called the Bro Squad.
I don't mean to cut this off, but I just want to say Destiny's camera angle here is terrible. So he has taken up like, what, 10% of the screen? It's just his head.
Okay. Fucking me, if you remember that fucking Cheeks bitch, and fucking a couple other people that have never been on my stream before, we're part of the Bro Squad, and what we would do is we would go around Justin TV streams, trolling the shit out of these people. And we went around from fucking channel to channel, like fucking around. Like it was this horrible shit. We went to this channel with this fucking like, this kid was like 8 years old, and he was fucking broing out with everybody in this chat. For whatever fucking reason, this kid decides to fucking take his pants off and fucking wiggle his 8-year-old dick on stream.
Jail. Send Destiny to Guantanamo Bay. I need to ask a genuine question. I don't think me and Destiny have a huge overlap, but if you watch him, after all this, could you like let me know why?
His fucking brother and his brother, we called him Captain Push-Ups, would like come in the room, and this guy was like fucking 14 years old. He had his shirt off and he was like this. Like,
so Destiny hanging out with a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old. That has to be like a quarter of the story. Whatever he's telling us is the trickle truth. It's probably a lot worse.
Like watching this stream the entire time and shit. Oh my god.
What's interesting is he makes it seem like this kid just happened to take his dick out, but they clearly spent a lot of time there because they like had a nickname for the brother who was there watching the whole time. Like this was a intimate setting in which there was a lot of time spent. We were talking about Vosh and the lolly horse controversy.
Okay, now we're about to get to the Vosh segment. Or, sorry, not Vosh segment. We're going to hear about the Vosh story. Now, if you don't remember, I covered this in my tipster video, but I don't blame you if you didn't watch it. Vosh, a horrible streamer, horrible person, one day, while on stream, he accidentally leaked his goon folder. And it was filled with lolly and horses. Not the My Little Pony kind, the IRL kind. Destiny, along with Tipster, were some of the people who came out in his defense. Destiny's defense is, they're just drawings. I don't care. Let me know when... I have trouble saying this sometimes. Destiny's gonna say, let me know when there are preschoolers involved.
He accidentally opened a folder and he had lolly and horse porn on his computer. And everybody was clowning on him, except one person. There was one person that came to his defense. Who was it? Destiny. Whoa. Why? Well, this take was so bizarre. I remember at the time being absolutely struck by it, and I pulled this straight from my memory because it was just so shocking to me. But here's his take on a lolicon, which is the pornographic hentai drawings involving children.
Did you see the lolly discussion on Reddit?
Destiny, you were on stream to thousands of people. Comb your hair.
You know, if Vosh was a better person and not such a piece of shit, I'd be in the trenches. Because you know what? Who the fuck cares about lolly? Who cares about drawn? Imagine your life is so boring that
you know who does care? The cops, the FBI, most people.
Give a fuck about animated cartoon girls.
Imagine your life so boring that you care about sexualizing children. Imagine being so bored in your life that you actually care if grown-ups want to fuck minors. Bro, what? I don't know. I don't know if it's that minor of a detail.
Like, how old is the girl? I don't know. How old is the fucking drawing? It's a goddamn picture.
It's a picture. How old is the drawing? I said this in the last episode. Destiny is dead to rights.
Who the fuck cares? Grow the fuck up, okay?
Grow up. Grow up. This man leaves me speechless a lot more than I'd like to admit.
Okay, people in Ethan's subreddit are like calling the FBI on fucking Vouch.
Yes, people call the FBI. It's illegal to make. It is literally illegal to have.
He's looking at cartoons that I don't like. I think that, like, bro.
That's not the criticism. It's not that they don't like it. It might have a fine plot. The plot might be a banger. I don't know. The problem, of course, is that it's depicting children being fucked by adults. That's just, that's a detail that's important to emphasize.
Okay, call me when this guy's fucked his way through some fucking preschoolers, okay? Until then.
Let me tell you something, guys. Evil is actually real. And you're looking at it. This is the kind of guy who will defend anything. Literally anything.
Then get out of here. Who cares?
And then he sets this bar. He goes, I only care until you're fucking preschoolers, which is 3-year-olds, bro. 3-year-olds.
What I would give to see the body cam footage when Destiny finally gets arrested. We already know he has 60 gigabytes of those Rose videos on his hard drive. We already know he sent around pictures of 15-year-olds that they sent him. I actually don't have a proper final thoughts for this Destiny segment. He is actually out there, and yeah, his hard drives need to be checked. We know. We actually know and have confirmation. He has things on it. He admits to it constantly. He laughs at dead children. He's sick. So I think that's going to be the end of the Destiny segment. And with that, the end of this episode. I'd like this video to be out on the 26th of October, and I'd like to get another iDubbbz video out by Halloween, so with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Joe Exotic for the people of America.
I am never going to financially recover from